So good evening, everybody. I am Simara from the Federal Institute of Science, Education and Technology. And we are here tonight for our third session of our Teacher Continuing Education. And we are very happy to have Marcio Fontana to talk to us tonight and Ellen Oliveira, who is going to act as the mediator. So the title of the session is How to Work with Project-Based Learning using help me, Marcio, iEARN platform. Thank you. Marcio Fontana is a postgraduate teacher from the Universidade Regional Integrada, URI, of Alto Uruguai, and das Missões, Erechim. Having studied foreign language teaching and learning at Federal University of Rio Grande do Sul, Marcio has been working as an English teacher for more than 24 years. That's a long time. In 13 different schools and language centers, and also works with technology applied to education. Marcio also worked as a volunteer for the Cambridge Cyrenians Project. You please correct me if I'm mistaken.
That's it.
Yeah. In Cambridge. Cambridge, the USA? Or the UK?
No, that's the UK.
Okay, all right. Having worked with homeless people, more recently, he attended classes as a PDPI, after you can explain to us, student, professional development program at Rutgers University in New Jersey, and participated in Teacher in Residence program in Lafayette, Indiana in 2019. As you can see, a well-experienced English teacher. And Ellen, we have previously introduced Ellen, but I'm going to introduce her again. As a mediator, we'll have our partners representative, Ellen Caroline Melo de Oliveira. She works as an ESL teacher in public schools of São Francisco de Paula, well-known Serra Gaúcha, and she also works online for Cambridge University in the USA. She has a wide experience in English teaching and learning processes, and she has worked in the field for over 20 years. So they are in a fight here. Who worked more? Who worked for longer? Now I'm passing the ball to Ellen. The stage is yours, Ellen, and you can maybe give some information regarding Partners of the Americas and tell us why Marcio has been invited, because you know Marcio more than me, and then Marcio will give his lecture. More a chat. I think it's more informal tonight. That's why we have Google Meet. But then Marcio is going to help us with these technologies for English teaching. Thank you.
Thank you, Simara. Very well introduced. Simara is expert on doing that. Well, guys, good evening, everybody. So, as Simara mentioned, I met Marcio in this Rutgers University course we took in 2015, I guess. 14. Oh my God, it's been a long time. Yeah, in 2014, we were selected to this program. It's a development teaching program by Fulbright. And we met in a city called New Brunswick in New Jersey. Yeah. So after that, we kept our connection as teachers, and Marcio became a partner of the America as well. I went to my teaching in residence program of Partners of the Americas in 2015. And I believe, Marcio, when did you go?
2019.
Yes. No, so I went in 16. Well, anyway, it doesn't matter. The point is, we have already joined this program that is called Teacher in Residence, and we are aiming to send to more teachers to this program in Indiana, the United States. This program consists of visiting schools, universities, learning centers, all kinds of educational institutes, in order to get to know how our partners in Indiana work. They help us, they show us what they are doing that is positive, and we can exchange our experiences. We can have like great conversations with great teachers. I remember I met all kinds of teachers from kindergarten to graduation teachers. Yes, and that experience was amazing. It was really rich, because it's not something that people tell you what they are doing. This I do that, and it's okay. It's good. My students are improving. You go there, you make part of their classes, you watch them, and then you learn from the inside, and this is fantastic. That's why we want to to have this development training online, because in 2023 we want to send our first group of teachers partners to the US to have this experience of teacher in residence. So of course, what do you need to go to the program? Because this is something we do as a volunteer, so there is no cost. The volunteers in the United States receive us, they give us shelter and food and transportation. Yes, they take very good care of us. And teachers don't have to pay a nickel for that. They just pay for the tickets, the flight tickets. And for 2 weeks, these teachers, we are thinking about sending 3 every semester. They are assisted by partners in Indiana. When I went to Indiana, I remember I visited many cities. I went to Muncie, Lafayette, Indianapolis. It was awesome. And get to know teachers, get to know universities, schools, and learning centers, So we want more and more teachers, we want our group to be strong. We want to share. We want to improve every time we meet. Yes. So if you feel like inviting other teachers, other ESL teachers, you can. You just send us some the contacts on WhatsApp. We insert in our WhatsApp group, and then this person will receive the link to join. And of course, we want this person to be a real partner of the Americas. And to be a real partner, there is a tiny fee to join the group. Yes. And it's nowadays it's like 100 reais per year. Yes, this fee is to for the costs of our non-governmental organization. It's an NGO. Yes, so we are here to serve. Yes, this is our idea, to serve. So all of us are volunteers. All the people that are going to receive teachers in the US are volunteers, and all of us love this work or this, how can I say, this mission, yes, to share and multiply knowledge. Yeah, it's something that we are really engaged to. So in every meeting we are going to talk about that, because of course there are in fact some bureaucracy to join the program, but we just need our teachers to donate their time and their creativity. Yeah, this is what we need. Yeah, and I bet everybody's going to have a lot of fun and we'll learn a lot, and our lives as teachers are going to be brighter. Okay, so Marcio, it's up to you.
Yeah.
I'm going to turn off my microphone and camera because I need to charge my computer. Okay.
That's okay. That's
so
okay.
I need to find the charger, and yeah.
That's just fine.
But I'm
That's
here.
just
If
okay.
you need me, just shout. I will be back in a minute.
That's okay, Ellen. So thank you guys. Thank you a lot. Okay, my warm welcome to every one of you, Simar, Andrea, Ellen, Paulo Molossi, my boss, the coordinators watching me here, Rayane, Daisy, and Lucia. Okay, for me it's a challenge to be here tonight and being invited by the parts of the Americas to talk about something that I learned this a few years ago, and what I learned inspired me, to be working deeper and deeper in this subject called project-based learning. Okay, no problem, Paul. That's okay. So I think you probably have already learned about like project-based learning, but I'm just going to talk a little bit about my background experience, because I started teaching when I was 19 years old, just tell you my age, and it was back in 1998, and I've always thought about how I could make my classes like better for my students to watch, for them to learn, and a way I could actually make them put the learning into real practice. And I believe this challenge is the challenge that every teacher, not just in Brazil, but any part of the world has, when it comes to like going to a language class and leaving the language class always a little different. I mean, so for example, I go to class and how can I put this into real practice? So back in the past, you remember that we had no technology, we had nothing in the past. And we made, even today, I think how I could manage like to learn a language, like here in the countryside, because Erechim is in the countryside where we hardly see someone from abroad where we can talk like to a native or to another person. And then I still think, so how could I ever be able to, master a foreign language living in a such place? You guys probably live like in the capital city where students get the chance of meeting some people in the streets or somewhere where they can use the language they learn in the classroom in real life outside the classroom, right? Native people or other people from other parts of the world. But this has always been a challenge. I don't know if you agree with me, but like learning and how they can like put the learning into real practice. And then back in 2018, when I was chosen to be the teacher in residence program in the US, Barry Kramer, if I'm not mistaken, and Kathy Healy from the iEARN USA, they got in touch with me, I think because Partners of the Americas USA sent my name to them, and they offered me a training course on how to use the iEARN platform. And then for me, it was a surprise because I was not expecting that. And then through 4 or 5 weeks, I remember that I took this training session, and I said, my God, this is what I had been looking for so many years, like a chance my students could, like, have the chance of working, pairing with other partner schools around the globe. So I finished that training session, and I traveled to the US as the teacher in residence. And then I came back in 2019, and right before the pandemic, I remember that I applied to work on my first project called Hello World Learning Circle. And the instructor was very clever. So I'm going to be showing you pictures and videos in a few minutes about our work, because we joined a school in Honduras, and then we worked together, and the outcome of this project was like awesome. The students really loved talking to each other, sharing knowledge, and then the pandemic came, and I had applied. My boss Paulo is here to tell me we had applied to work with a school in Moldova, and then the pandemic came, we had to cancel, and then we tried again, and then we had to cancel again. And currently I'm working with that school in Taiwan. We are finishing up a project with a school in Taiwan. So what I can say about it, you're going to see now. I'm going to share my desktop here, and I'm going to give you the basics of how you can work with this platform. Because for you who are watching me live, and for the people who are going to watch me this recording on YouTube after we finish our meeting, you're going to have all the instructions on how you can actually work with project-based learning. And I'm not talking about just simple project-based learning, because you might know that our high school program in Brazil changed, and nowadays we have projects in high school as well. This is project-based learning. But what I'm going to explain is we're going to work with this. We can work with project-based learning in a world scale. Okay, so let me just share my desktop. Just a second. So we're going to start the introduction to this. And I would like you to feel free to type in the chat box questions you may have, so I can, we can have like somebody said, we can have a conversation, and they can ask me questions. But first of all, I have to tell, I'm not iEARN staff. Okay, I'm just partner of the Americas, and I'm just showing you this marvelous resource we can use in our classrooms. Okay, so can you see, guys? Can you see my presentation here?
Yes.
You can see it. All right. So, like the name says here, iEARN. Okay, I was thinking today, iEARN in another sense is really I earn, because the students really earn when they are involved in these international projects. But iEARN really means International Education and the Resource Network. So this program is a nonprofit organization from the United States. We're going to see more information about when they start this program. And the aim of iEARN is to connect schools and institutions around the globe. Okay, let's watch a small video. It's just a minute video here, so you can start having an idea of how this works. Okay, let me just change the microphone here. Just a second. I need to do that.
Have you ever wanted to connect your students with the rest of the world? Since 1988, iEARN has been doing just that. Students are crossing international borders and jumping language barriers to collaborate on global projects across subjects like math, creative writing, art, science, and history. In a safe and secure online platform called the Collaboration Center, students and teachers participate in dialogue and hands-on collaboration with others from around the world. iEARN helps educators connect and communicate with other teachers and students around the world using interactive technologies, engage students in subjects through creative collaboration with their peers in other countries, and empower students to take action and make meaningful contributions to their local and global communities. Interested in learning with the world, not just about it? Join us at collaborate.iEARN.org.
So, with this small video here, I introduced what iEARN actually aims to. Okay, so the real aim of iEARN is to connect schools, like you have just seen, around the globe, connect classrooms, connect students, connect institutions, and not just language classes, as you saw, right? But all subject areas you can imagine. So let me show you some information here, just a second, I'm sorry. Here, we have, what is iEARN? Okay, so it says, founded in 1988, iEARN is a nonprofit organization made up of over 30,000 schools and youth organizations in more than 140 countries. So it's huge, okay? So the system involving the connection of all the schools around the globe is huge. So you have some more information about iEARN. So it's been like over 30 years. This is back in 2021, so it was last year. As you can see, the initial thing was like when they started connecting schools using old systems, it was like a telephone they had, which sent like images. And then this was the first project that connected an American school and a Russian school during the Cold War, which is interesting to be thinking, you know, during the Cold War, to avoid the initial thing was like, okay, let's try to connect American schools with the Russian schools, so maybe we can avoid like a nuclear war or something, you know. And now in 2021, take a look at the number of projects we have. So we have 97 projects. Now 2022, I think we have a little more than that. 13 learning circles, and the 17 United Nations SDGs are the Sustainable Development Goals. 2,700 teachers, 70,000 students, and 116 countries connected using iEARN. If you think in a large scale, this is amazing, because we can make our students and give our students the opportunity to be working and to be collaborating with students from other parts of the world, especially today that we have the virtual world. We can use Google Meet, we can use other platforms, you know, to have live conferences. This is extremely important in terms of giving our students the chance for real practice. But besides that, I'm just going to skip to this slide here. It says that how will this project improve the quality of life on our planet? So every project on iEARN not only aims to teach contents. In English, we have an expression called think outside the box, be creative. And what is, in real practice, to think outside the box? Let's think. The world is all connected nowadays. Nowadays, I can talk to someone in Japan in real time. I can be sharing files. So why not the education and the knowledge to be connected with other parts of the world? For example, a student living in Africa might not know that a building in Brazil might be like the building they have in Africa, or it might be different. So when they share knowledge, they learn from each other. Students learn from each other. And it's not only content, as you can see on this slide. All the projects on iEARN, they are aligned with each of the SDGs you can see here, the Sustainable Development Goals from the United Nations. No poverty, zero hunger, good health and well-being, quality education. Just a second, someone is coming in. I have to allow the person to come in. Gender equality, clean water and sanitation, affordable and clean energy, decent work and economic growth, industry innovation and infrastructure, reduced inequalities, sustainable cities and communities, responsible consumption and production, climate action, life below water, life on land, peace, justice, and strong institutions, partnerships for the goals. Isn't this just amazing, people? Like when our students are learning, when the students are learning from each other, from students from different parts of the world, they are sharing and they are learning from each other. They are making a difference in the real world, if you understand me. So that's why, Ellen, you raised your hand. Would you like to say something?
Yeah, I would like to say that I am amazed about this project, because in the world we live today, it's so important to fight prejudice, to erase all the kinds of stereotypes that people have according to nations, and this is just perfect. We can. Because sometimes we have an idea of a country or a place in the world or a continent that is given by someone else's eyes. And then I can get the information, right through my eyes. And this is really important nowadays, especially for our youngers, because there is so much hate and prejudice, and this is a great tool to fight against these things.
Mm-hmm. I totally agree, Alan. I totally agree, and that's why I got really excited when I took the training course on how to use these projects, especially like I said, I use this expression to think outside the box, but we could also say like to learn outside the box as well, because nobody goes to school to learn and keep the learning in a box. We need to share. Once we connect communities, once we connect classrooms around the globe, like you said, Ellen, we fight so many problems in the world. Like students from Taiwan are learning from my students here in Brazil now. And in Taiwan, you know what's going on in Taiwan now. They're running the risk of having a war now, So like in this thing, like we make like learning more meaningful, in my opinion. It's not just teaching content by content, if you understand me. Not like that. Because like textbooks, they are everywhere. But interaction, this way of learning is a bit different, And then, of course, this is like I said in the beginning, it's in a global scale, It's not, but this can be done like in local scale as well. Say, Ellen.
Sorry to interrupt. I was thinking that you could stop sharing your desktop.
Yeah, no, actually, I'm going to keep on sharing here, Ellen. That's why I haven't stopped, okay? So,
okay.
Okay,
sorry.
No,
I thought you had forgotten.
No, that's okay. Just going to keep on present because we won't have like a bunch of time here, so I have to keep on time, right? So here it says that the iEARN's 5 outcomes for global competence are connect with and become part of a global community, develop and use communication skills with diverse audiences, develop openness and respect towards people from other cultures and perspectives, take collaborative action and make meaningful contributions to local and global communities, and develop a culture of caring for each other and the planet. So, like I was saying, I don't know if you share the same feeling, but I believe education must take this deeper step that is going further than the classrooms, and knowledge must be put into practice in terms of connecting people and making the world a better place. So let me show you just a very simple video here on how this project-based learning works.
You remember what it was like in school. It was boring. You sat in class, memorized as much as you could, and tried to pass a test at the end. But is that good enough? These days, school can be more interesting and effective by focusing students on work that matters. This is project-based learning explained. Most adults live in a world of projects. Whether it's a job assignment, home improvement, or planning a wedding, we need to actively solve problems. But unfortunately, schoolwork looks more like this than this. Let's take a look at this project-based world. Meet Claire. She was recently presented with a challenge. Her company, Super Suds, makes soap, and it was up to her to find the most earth-friendly way to produce it in the future. Her boss gave her a budget and a few requirements, and it was up to her to come up with a solution. She organized and managed a team who researched the options and created materials summarizing the issues. Claire's team asked for feedback and presented their findings to the boss. Claire came out of the project looking like a rock star, and she learned a lot about green products. If you look closely, Claire's success involved critical thinking, collaboration, and communication, things that aren't often taught in traditional classrooms. The world needs more Claires, so how do we get them? The answer is project-based learning, or PBL. By focusing students on a project, teachers put them on a path that deepens their knowledge and builds skills they'll need in the future. Here's what I mean. Mr. Simmons has always been a good science teacher, and his students do well on Friday's tests. Unfortunately, what they learned was gone by Saturday morning. That wasn't good enough for him. Soon he learned about project-based learning and decided to give it a shot. Mr. Simmons got the idea for his first project on microorganisms when nearly half of his students were suddenly absent with the flu. He asked his students why they thought so many of their classmates got sick at the same time. That lively discussion produced a lot of good questions and a list of things the kids wanted to know. Mr. Simmons then announced their project was to help elementary school kids understand, how can we not get sick? After dividing the class into teams, he got them started on the project. It was up to the students to ask questions, research, collaborate, give each other feedback, and figure out the best ways to make their points clear to children. One team chose to make an educational video on the connection between hand washing and avoiding the flu. Another chose to create posters to show how viruses spread. The project teams showed off their final work to an enthusiastic audience of parents and their children at a nearby elementary school. Sitting in the front row was our good friend and local rock star Claire, who saw a bit of herself in the students. It was clear that the project was a success for the students, the audience, and Mr. Simmons. His students practiced critical thinking, collaboration, and communication. The project wasn't about memorization, but learning in depth about viruses and how to prevent spreading disease, a lesson they will never forget. At the end of the presentation, Claire introduced herself to the students and told them that they were rock stars and that the world needs more people who can think like them. To learn more about
So I think now we have a better idea of how these projects actually work, right? If you have any questions, guys, please open the microphone and ask me so we can share, or any comments you might have. Okay? Can I go on? Can I continue, guys? Simara, okay? You have any questions, Simara?
Just a quick question. In practice, we understood what was said there, but in practice, how this methodology works
Okay.
with different students from different places. I understand, but
Yeah,
I have
you still struggle to understand it.
yeah, exactly.
Okay, I'll show you now in the next few slides that I have. Okay, so take a look at this, Simara and everybody. So how it works. So first you become a member of iEARN. Okay, I just created an account on iEARN because my current account was created like back in 2018, and I had little knowledge of how I would create it. And I created another one now. And after you create the account, I'm going to show you this in practice, okay, Simara, in a few minutes. After you create the account needs to be approved by iEARN Brazil, that is in Brasilia, okay? And after they approve your account, you can join a project. You can log into the dashboard and look for a project, and you join the project. You find classroom partners, okay, because like there's the project, and there are, let's say, 30 schools that have joined that project. And then you get in touch with partner schools in that project. You find one, and then you start working, implement your project, and then in the end, you present your students' work. This is like the basics of how this works, okay? In a few minutes, I'll go through the real website to show you, okay? Just a few minutes, okay, Simon? So here you have the classroom activities, the exchange activities, and the take action and share work. These are the steps that every teacher and every classroom that connects with another school in the world, they must take. So in the beginning, you have, project activities are done in the classroom or as homework, and can include media production or creation, research, class discussion, okay, and group discussion and presentations. This is the first step. Then they post everything they create online in an online forum. So my students post what they create, and the other school students post what they create, so they share and they make comments on what they post. They respond to, this is what I've just said, they respond to others online. They share media and classroom work, and then they have the video conference if they want in the end. So a final work would be sharing this final product with global partners. Displaying your work, the discovery with your school or parents, and hosting an event for the community in the end. This is like the overall of how the project works, okay? Here, the students can work as a whole class. As a whole class, the students do the classroom activities, teachers share students' work and ideas in the collaboration center, and can include video conference or recorded videos. So in this case here, does not require students' accounts. Why not? Because you, teacher, create the account, and you were responsible for posting comments on students' names, like the images, the files, and everything they produce in the classroom. The second option you can work is like having small groups. Again, they do the activities in the classroom. They work in groups and determine what and how they post online, the material online. One student, in this case here, posts on behalf of the group, not the teacher. And again, it can include a conference or recorded videos, okay? And does not require all the students to have accounts. This is a second way you can work with this kind of projects. And the last option here is they can work individually. So they create their own accounts, okay? They do their classroom activities, they work individually or in groups, they post their, in the collaborative center their work, and it can include video conference or recorded videos as well. So here it requires all the students to have accounts, and this is what I'm going to show you in a few minutes, how you create the account and how the students create the accounts. Here, so what are the projects? So let's go ahead and move to the next step about the projects, okay? So to be more, let's say more practical, let me log into the iEARN website here. So you're going to have a look at how the iEARN platform, the iEARN website works. So here is the homepage, okay, where you find the basic information of how iEARN works. You have some videos and number of schools, educators, and testimonials, like any other website. So when you come to this part of their website, you're going to see that you have right here, you have the countries that are actually involved on iEARN. So there's a bunch of countries, more than 130, I think we mentioned before. You have the country coordinators. If you want to get in touch with the coordinator before you join a project, you register to a project, you can get in touch with the coordinator first, and you have the language resources. Okay, so it's in many languages, and you might ask me, oh, it's all English. This is all English. No, it's not all English. It's all languages. Okay, but also English. Okay, and here, let me go back a little bit, because here what you have is here you can have a tour, but here you have browse projects. So when you click here, you don't need to create an account to take a look at the projects offered by iEARN. So here you have like select iEARN projects and space groups, money matters, staying healthy, blah, 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 blah. So you have a bunch of all groups. So if you click here, you're going to have all the groups and all the projects. But you can choose here the age of your students. Let's say they are from middle school. Okay, you can choose the language of your project that you want to work with, and you can choose the subject as well. Let's say English. Where is English here? Oh no, it's language arts, yeah. Or languages, or you have a language arts somewhere in here. Reading, writing, and then you search for the projects related to that. And now it comes this, okay? We're getting started, blah, blah, blah. I don't think, let me see why it doesn't take you to the project straight away. Here, let me show you this a little more. If you click, of course, if you click on every project, you're going to see the basic information. I don't think I can have all the information before I log into the site. If I create the account and then I browse the projects. But something interesting is that you can open, look, you can open this. So iEARN offers a PDF, also a PDF, as you can see here, with all the projects you can take a look. So you can choose a project that belongs to creative and language arts. And then here you have the page you go straight to. There are projects about humanities and social sciences. What else? Science, technology, engineering, and math. And then I believe I skipped something about the languages here, or I said something about it. I don't. Here, language arts. Let's see. Currently, I'm working on a project called the package cultural package exchange. It does not belong to the language arts. If I browse here, cultural, just to show you, cultural package exchange, I go to page 28, just for you to have a look at the information the project has. Okay, 28 here. It is. Okay, so with this PDF, for example, you can have all the information about the project. You have like the ages, the dates, when the project starts and ends. As you can see, like August 1st, 2021 until July 31, 2022. Okay, the language is English, and the contact is Sarah Zumbar from Pakistan. That's the instructor of this program. So let's say, okay, I scanned, I had a look at all the projects offered by iEARN, And then I decide to join the project. Okay, so I go to the collaboration center, I create the account, you go here, you join, and when you join here, you have to put all the information, the project you want, like iEARN projects for the teacher, and then you fill in this with your information, and then you submit. And iEARN Brazil is going to approve your submission, and then you're going to receive an email with your login and password. After that, you're going to log in. Let me just to show you an example using my account. You log in, and remember the projects we browsed here. They're all here. If you want, you can search for a specific project using a keyword, or you can just show all. Let's say, let me see if it brings all the projects. As you can see now, like I told you before, I couldn't because I was not logged in. But here, after you log in, you have like the subjects. Let's say you're going to select, let's say, choose world languages. So which projects involve world languages? ABC Cultural, Day of the Dead Traditions, and Folk and Culture Project. You have so many projects here. And then you read the information, click here, and then you read the information about the project. If you are in doubt, you can talk to the facilitator of this project and ask more information about it. Look, here you have the instructor. As you can see, you can send them an email, and they're going to reply giving you more information about it. Once you're done, once you're decided, you're going to say, okay, my students are studying recycling now. So let me try to find a project that relates to recycling. So you come here, and then you're going to, let's say, if I can type recycling here and see if something comes out of it. No course is found because that's the name of the course. But here you have the Sustainable Development Goals. Okay, you can choose, remember the 17 goals I mentioned before? So you can choose something not about climate, but about trash. Here, I don't know if I can find something. Clean water and sanitation. It has something to do with garbage. Okay, but it's not finding anything out because I still have recycling there. Let's see, wait. Zero no poverty, sanitation. It has to do with garbage. And then you have the project civics, heritage around the world, protectors. And actually, this is in Spanish. Okay, water is life. Okay, and then you decide to join this project. You click on the project and you say, okay, I'll register my students. And then you come. I'm not going to register now because I am not going to work on this project, but I'm just going to show you. And then you click just register. Can you see it? On the right. So when you register for the project, what happens? The initial dashboard here brings all the projects that I'm registered into. Let me show you. Here, I have Folk and Culture Project. I think, wait, did I do that? I think I registered by accident now this. Cultural Package Exchange is the one that I'm currently working with. And then I had to register other projects because I was looking for a partner school and then I couldn't. And currently I'm working on this project, Cultural Package Exchange. So here inside this, the instructor of this project is going to create a folder. As you can see, Uri Campus de Erechim and the Shungli Junior High School in Taiwan. They create a folder where our students are going to share all the steps, all the activities done. They're going to be shared inside their folder. Of course, you have like the question and answer, the Q&A question and answers and other things if you are interested in asking about this project. We can have introductions. So the teachers introduce themselves and the students also introduce themselves, as you can see here. But for the collaboration between the two schools, you're going to have your folder like this one, where you have pictures and videos. My students are posting, as you can see here, students from Taiwan. They were talking about us, URI Campus de Erechim, Brazil school profile. They were discussing our profile. So you can share like pictures, you can share videos, you can share everything that is, all the steps that are actually done during the project is done on the platform, on this dashboard here. Okay, and then they react. Like you can see here, there was a comment, I replied, students post their comments, and then other students reply. And then that's how the project moves on. Let me show you, because I have, let me just stop for a while and share this just a second, so you can ask me a couple of questions. Let me just stop the presentation here. Simara, do you have any questions, Ellen, so far?
Oh, it sounds very interesting. It's completely new for me, so I'm processing the information. I would love to try it with my students. As a teacher as well, at the Institute we have this double bubble. We are professors and teachers. We carry out research and then we teach secondary school students. So I was already thinking how to use it in the classroom. So I think it's quite a good tool, a good resource for teachers.
Yeah, especially because your students are going to be connected with the other students throughout all the process. You know, if the project like takes like this cultural package exchange took us. We started in March, but we had some problems on the way that I'm going to discuss like in a few minutes. I think we are running out of time already. It's 9:04. My goodness. And like the package we sent arrived okay in Taiwan, but the package they sent us was actually retained in São Paulo for almost 20 days because they hadn't paid a small fee, you know. So they had to work with all the bureaucracy until we received the package. We received the package this week, for example, and we're going to open their package next week finally. And the conference will be the other week because the final outcome will be a live conference we're going to have with the guys from Taiwan. So let me just keep on moving. How much time do I still have, Ellen, for me to check here?
It is supposed to be 1 hour, but of course we started late. So I guess we have like 10-15 minutes more. I think it's quite good.
Okay, thank you. So let me share and keep on explaining some more things here. So I was saying that you have this project book where you can find all the information. You also have the teacher's guide with like the instructions on how you can work with each project. But I will say there are some technology challenges, okay? Sometimes depending on the students you were teaching and depending the partner school, students might have poor, limited internet connection or even access to computers. So this we have to keep in mind, okay? Of course, nowadays with like the internet world, everybody's like connected, but there might be a problem with that. Also, another problem that might happen is about scheduling and time issues, like limited time with students, school calendar and holidays, time zones, teachers' workload, and time for planning. This worries me sometimes. Like when I joined Taiwan, for example, I thought, okay, they are almost 24 hours ahead of us, I said. And how can I overcome this problem, like when we have like the live conference? My students and I, we're going to school at night. We're going to start the conference at 9 o'clock at night, because in Taiwan, students are going to be in school at 8 o'clock in the morning. So you have to consider all these aspects. When I worked with Honduras, it was just okay. It was very good, no problem, because the time difference is very small. But also, we have to deal with the calendar, school calendar, holidays, or anything that might happen during your class planning. Here, steps to getting started. I think I explained a bit, like you connect to the communities in the forum, you explore iEARN projects, you select a project, you connect with facilitators and partners, you prepare your students, you engage your students, and you share your work. This is the whole process of how the projects must be developed and the final result must be achieved in the end. So let me show you here. Back in 2019, I worked with Honduras, like I've just told you. The teacher is showing our videos, the videos we had recorded about Brazil, about our country and our state. Here they were watching. Here you have another picture of them. At the back you have, like on the screen, our students as well. Here it's me with the live conference with them, with our students and their students there live. We had like both cameras, and then we talked. We asked questions. They asked us questions about our cultural aspects and things. And here I have a small video of a student presenting a piece of work we had in the class. Let me show you. Just a second here. Where are you?
Hi everyone, I'm going to talk about the typical Brazilian foods. So, Brazil is a big country, and because of that we have 5 geographic regions, that is, the north, the northeast, the central-west, the southeast, and the south. And we are here in the north of the last state in the south. So, in the north we have açaí, tacacá, and pato no tucupi, that is like duck in tucupi. In the northeast, we have carne de sol, that is like sun meat, acarajé, and tapioca. This one is one of my favorites. In the southeast, we have feijoada, pão de queijo, that is like cheese bread, but we have no bread. It's like another thing. And we also have moqueca capixaba. In the south, that is our region, we have barbecue, arroz e carreteiro, that is like carrier rice, tahine na taquara, that is like mullet in the taquara, and chimarrão. And in the last region, that is the central-west, we have arroz com pequi, that is like rice with pequi, pintado ao urucum, and caldo de piranha, that is like piranha, that is a fish broth. And about the typical desserts, we have pudim de leite, that is like milk pudding, cocada, and the... Hi everyone.
All right, so here you have a piece of my students' work, okay, and then there are all the steps you have to do to achieve like the result, the final work in the end. So don't worry about that. When you join the project, you get in touch with the facilitator of the project. They send you like the whole lesson plan with all the classes, you know, class number 1, what you have to do, class 2, class 3, and then the final work in the end. Let me show you this, just to be brief. I have some more pictures of my students here. I'm not just going to play this, but they were describing their school. And this is the project we are working on today. This is with the Qinglu High School in Taiwan. Let me show you very shortly.
Hello, Welcome to my school, Zhongli Junior High School. We are from class 717, group 7. Today, I will show you around and introduce my school to you. The school was erected in 1934. Before, it was Hsinchu State Zhongli Village Junior High School, but now it is Zhongli Junior High School. There are 57 classes at my school. There are 145 teachers and about 1,500 students here. Today, I want to show you one of my favorite spots in our campus. There is a field at my school. It is very big. It is in front of the Zhongjing building. We often do exercise and have PE classes here. There are basketball courts and volleyball courts around here. The students here like to play volleyball and basketball on the field. Wish you liked my introduction and welcome to visit other places of our school next time.
All right, so this is something they shared with us about their school. Here we have, I'm not going to show you this because we are running out of time, but this is a student of mine describing one of our cultural aspects of Rio Grande do Sul. And something interesting about this cultural package exchange is one of the steps we had was to write postcards and send postcards to Taiwan and receive postcards from Taiwan to calculate the amount of time the box would take to arrive in Brazil and to arrive in Taiwan. So here is, you can see like the postcards our students received. And then they shared the postcards on the forum I was explaining before. And as you can see, Alena, she shared her postcard. She made a comment about it. And Starla Show, the teacher, responded to her comments on the forum. So here is the teacher explaining about our school in Taiwan to her kids. Here they were opening our package. Here, yes, the same thing. And they received our Brazilian flag and our state flag as well. Let's just listen. I don't know if you're going to understand because Chinese people, it's a little hard to understand their English, right? But let me try to play here. And
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
all right, so I'm going to stop here because I could be talking forever, about this, because there are so many things, guys, involved in project-based learning, especially when we talk about like global projects. Like the feeling I have is like my students when they interact with these kids from other parts of the world, they do not only practice the language they're learning in class, but they are sharing feelings, they are sharing knowledge, they're making, at least in their minds, they're going to have like a different picture of the world, of that country, of that city, where people live. So this is what I have for today. I don't know if you like the presentation about this, and I hope I can help you, a lot more than that. You just need to send me an email. I can reply to you. I can give you my contact number. You can call me on WhatsApp, and then I can share more things that I have about the iEARN. Okay.
Amazing, Marcio. I am, you were speaking and I was just thinking, how could I apply in all my groups? And so many ideas came up. It's awesome. It's an awesome tool, and I think it's something really, connected to what we do at Partners. Thank you a million for sharing this. It was fantastic.
Simara?
And just a quick comment. It's so much more meaningful when you have project-based learning. Instead of just picking some language topics to work with students. Of course, it involves more. I believe you are more involved in this projects, but I can imagine your student satisfaction in interacting with somebody from all the other side of the world in English. So congratulations, very interesting. And I would like to ask the participants to not to forget to fill the form, okay, the ones who are here, because we can provide you with the certificates at the end of this project that we have of different sessions every month, okay?
All right, guys. All right. Anytime, okay? Whenever you want some more information about it, like I was saying before, Simara, you can get in touch. Okay, you have my contacts. Get in touch, and then I can and something interesting is that whenever you have a question, you can just write an email to iEARN, and they are very, very ready to answer any questions that you have, like technical problems or stuff. Okay, and I'm pretty sure when you apply project-based learning, like in a global scale, don't forget me. Okay, don't forget me. Send me a picture of your project, so I'll be like proud that I shared this marvelous tool with all of you. Okay, guys, I think you can close, selling.
Yes, it was a lot.
Maybe just the information about the next session before we.
Oh,
Do
yeah.
you have it here? Otherwise, I can remind.
I do. Just a second. I just need to.
I
One
can help with
second.
that if you prefer. Because
Oh, it's here. It's here. We have here somewhere over the rim. Simara, do you have it handy?
yes,
Because I was looking at our
okay.
ESL group.
Because we won't have anything in July. According to the program, our next meeting will be in August with Philip Delace White. He is a British teacher who has worked and lived in Porto Alegre for 30 years. And he's going to talk about English culture and teaching. And he's going to focus on private teaching as well, because we know that many English teachers, they focus on private teaching. So he's going to bring some information as it's one of his expertise. Okay, I think it's going to be very interesting. I know him and he's amazing. Okay, that's it. Handing over to you, Ellie.
Okay, thank you, Samara. Thank you again, Marcio. And thank you for all the participants. Please, guys, spread the word. Share this group with your co-workers, WhatsApp groups, LinkedIn, Facebook, whatever. Because we want to have more teachers, helping. Imagine today, Marcio shared something brilliant with us. Imagine we have in like monthly sessions where we share something new, and today we found a tool that is, to me, it seems easy to deal with and improves a lot our teaching, and it's so meaningful for our students. So this is the goal of this group, and we want more teachers receiving this gift. Okay, so thank you all, guys.
One last word,
Okay.
Ellen. One last word. If you search iEARN on YouTube, you're going to have a lot of information on how you log in, you create an account, you work with projects. They have a bunch of material that you must watch. It's not difficult at all. It's not. You can do it yourself. But just in case, right, to get more inspired than I think you are now, okay, do that. Watch the videos they offer and make it happen. Okay, guys?
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Good night and see you in August.
See you. See you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.